So let's just first make sure that we have the latest version of the Tinychain binary. So I'm going to copy the download link from the releases page of the project, and I'll put a link to that in the comments. So while that's downloading, we can make sure that we uninstall any previous version of the client, install the latest version of the client. That way we've made sure that everything is the latest version. So that's done. That's done. Let's make this executable. Now we can start coding. Let's import the client. Let's also start a stopwatch here. See how long this takes. I'm just going to add a class called demo, which is a cluster. Cluster is the data structure that Tinychain uses for synchronization. I'm going to say this lives at app demo. And in the configure method, I'm going to define one instance variable called rev, like revision, which is a chain of type block. So a block chain, its initial value is just 0. That took under 30 seconds. So let's see how this works. Tinychain has a safety feature where it won't serve a cluster unless it reads the configuration from disk, which is to prevent you from unwittingly serving somebody else's application. So I'm going to say that I'll save this at demo.json in the config directory. Let's write the definition of this cluster we just defined to that location. Let me remind myself the syntax for constructing a new local host. So the binary is what we just downloaded. The workspace can be anything. Put temptc. The data directory again can be anything. I'm just going to put temp demo. We just have one cluster, which is the config that we just wrote. So I'm going to start this host. Now let's make sure that everything's working as intended. So rev has a value of 0, just like we said here. If I put a new value to app demo rev as a key of none, because it's just a scalar value, we'll come back to that in just a second. A value of 1, now it's 1. Put a value of 2, now it's 2. So we can check the chain endpoint here. See, here's the state of the blockchain. So it only has one block. There's no hash because there's no previous block. In this transaction ID, there was one write operation which set a value of 1. In this transaction ID, there was one write operation which set a value of 2. So in the next video, we'll come back to this key parameter and we'll do the same exercise with a B tree, which will allow you to actually use the key parameter, and that makes it a lot more useful in serving an actual application. In the meantime, you can go to the client README here in the project, and you can learn how to add methods to your cluster and how to call those methods from another cluster, which is arguably the most powerful feature of Tinychain. Thank you very much for watching.